Let us recapitulate Genesis 5, the various actors involved. First, we have Seth. But before that, I think I'm going to read the descendants of Adam, which is found in the book of Joshua. But I know in this contemporary time, many people will be asking me that why am I mentioning the book of Joshua whereas it's in the Apocryphs. Now the scripture says that whatsoever things were written aforetime was written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures may have hope. The King James Bible of 1611 have these apocryphs, and the Good News Bible have these apocryphs. I'm going to read the book of Joshua so that we have a clearer picture of the descendants of Adam. And if you're a Bible student, you're going to know that in Genesis, the elaboration given about these characters and the events that happen is in the book of Joshua, and it does not coincide with it does not contrast the description in the book of Genesis. So after this, I think I'll read maybe Joshua 1 or Joshua 2 or Joshua 3, because it speaks about the descendants of Adam. And the book of Joshua is mentioned a lot of times in the scriptures. Now, let's speak about Seth. The scripture says Adam was 130 years old when he gave birth to Seth. And he named him Seth, meaning compensation. If Seth, back in Genesis 4, that God has recompensed her for the seed of her, the Abel that Cain slew. Now, Seth lived and he gave birth to children. Now, Seth gave birth to a son called Enosh, and Enosh lived and begat Canaan. These are one of the important characters of the descendants of Adam. The scripture says in the book of Joshua that in those days, Canaan was filled with all manner of wisdom and understanding until he had abilities to rule over spirits and demons. And he taught the sons of men the wisdom of God, and he told the sons of men what will happen in the latter days. And the scripture says that Canaan had 3 sons and 2 daughters. The 2 daughters that Lamech, the descendant of Cain, got married to, the pioneer of polygamy, which we spoke about in Genesis 4. Canaan begat Mahalalel, Mahalalel begat Jared, Jared begat Enoch, and Enoch begat Methuselah. We talk about Enoch because Enoch is one of the important characters of the descendants of Adam. Now, the scripture says that Enoch lived and walked with God. He was not found because God took him, like the way he took Elijah. And in the books of the Chronicles of the Heroes of Faith in Hebrews 11, and the scripture says in verse 5, it says, by faith Enoch walked with God, and he was not found, and he was translated because God took him. And the scripture says that before Enoch's translation, he gave his testimony of the word that he had pleased God. I think I'm going to read the story of Enoch. Is found in the book of Joshua 3. Now, Enoch gave birth to Methuselah. All of us know the story of Methuselah. That Methuselah was the man that had lived the longest time of earth till today above everybody. He lived 969 years. Now, Methuselah was the grandfather of Noah, because Methuselah begat Lamech, and Lamech begat Noah. And Lamech said, when he gave birth to Noah, he says, this is a child that is going to save us from sufferings we are suffering upon the face of the earth. Now, the story of Methuselah and Noah, how they preached the gospel in that their generation, by God's grace and as the Spirit leads, I think I'll also read it, is found in the book of Joshua. Now, an important character, because Genesis 5 speaks about the descendants of Adam from Seth to Noah. The last verses of Genesis 5 spoke about Noah. It says Noah was 500 years old when he gave birth to Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And we all know the story of Noah. So in Genesis 6, 7, 8, and 9, and probably 10, which speaks about the descendants of Noah, I'm going to read it. So God bless you, and God cause his countenance to shine upon you. Stay tuned as we study together.